This is example 6 in chapter 1. Now for something a little bit simpler and more transparent, but still we're talking about grouping in the Bach D major prelude from the first book of the Well-Tempered Clavier. This prelude can be quite charming if played with grace and technical ease. It can also sound like a rather boring etude if it isn't comfortable. And the way to get it comfortable is to avoid this, and let me show you what I see a lot in my studio. Notice the thumb is still down here where it doesn't need to be anymore. You might say, well, it has to play again, so why not keep it there? It's very difficult to get the arm behind the finger that's playing when the hand is in an extended position like this. So once again, we're talking first about grouping, and then there's some shaping that can be applied as well. But if you look at page 6, you can see under the brackets the groups of notes begin with the second finger D, and the first group ends here, and then I start again on the first note of the next group. So it's, and that's the way to practice it actually. And sometimes it isn't very far from the last note to the first note, which is fine. It's just a matter of transferring the weight. So once again, the group is there. And now if you add a little bit of shaping to that, look, under on the way up and over on the way down, it makes a continuous movement, and this helps us add the grace and the charm so that it doesn't sound like a dull, machine-like etude. Now let me talk about this hand angle in the third measure. You'll see a strange-looking arrow there on page 6. The reason I put that there is because a lot of people fall into this trap. Look, if I begin the measure this way, look where my thumb is. Look where it needs to be. So I want my hand to be at this angle. It's thumb, and as soon as I go to 4, I'm going to stay in this angle. Not D, I wanted to go back to the B. So it's, instead of doing this, look where my thumb is, and it needs to be there. So don't bring your hand all the way back around straight on the piano. Remember, we're allowed to be, as long as we stay straight with ourselves, we're allowed to be at any angle with the keyboard. Those are the groups. Example 6.